All right, let's get into it. We're going to explore one of the most fascinating and, let's be honest, baffling texts in all of Zen Buddhism. It's this collection of paradoxes that are specifically designed to to short-circuit the way we normally think and point us toward a totally different kind of truth.
So it all kicks off with what sounds like a really simple question. A monk goes up to a famous Chinese Zen master, Zhao Zhou, and asks him this. Now you have to know, a core Buddhist teaching says that all living things have Buddha nature, right? The potential to become enlightened. So when the monk asks, does a dog have it, the answer should be a no-brainer.
But Zhao Zhou's answer wasn't a yes. It was just this one single powerful syllable, mu. In Chinese, it's wu, and it means no, or not, or without. An answer that seems to completely contradict a basic principle of his own religion. So what on earth is going on here?
To really get the power of this one little word, mu, you have to see the massive contradiction it sets up. This isn't just the master saying no. He's throwing a wrench into the entire machine of the question itself. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got the correct, by-the-book answer, yes. Of course the dog has Buddha nature. Duh. But Zhao Zhou's mu just completely sidesteps that entire yes-no framework. He's not playing the game. He's doing something completely different.
And here's the key. This whole exchange, it's not some clever riddle you're supposed to figure out. You can't just think your way to the right answer. Mu isn't a piece of information. It's a tool that's designed for one very specific job, to break the very mind that's trying so hard to solve it.
And that brings us to the name for this strange and powerful kind of tool. In Zen, it's called a koan. And you should know, these aren't just quirky little stories. They are precision instruments designed to work on the mind.
The word koan actually means something like a public case from law. It's like a precedent that can't be argued with. Its whole job is to completely frustrate your logical, analytical brain, to back it into a corner where logic just fails.
You know, the master who put this famous collection of koans together, Wumen Hukai, he had this incredible metaphor for them. He called them bricks to knock at a gate. Think about that. They're heavy, they're blunt, you use them to smash through a barrier. And once you're through, you just drop the brick. You don't need it anymore.
So how does one of these bricks actually work? Well, first, you're slammed with the paradox, like mu. This is supposed to ignite what they call great doubt, a really deep, almost painful confusion. The idea is to make your intellect spin its wheels so hard, trying to solve the unsolvable, that it just completely burns out. It gives up. And right there, in that moment of total mental exhaustion, something else has a chance to happen, a breakthrough.
And this is so crucial to understand. The whole point of this entire process is, as the old texts say, to cut off the way of thinking. It's about silencing that constant inner monologue, that voice that's always analyzing and judging, so you can actually experience reality directly without a filter.
So where did these mental bricks come from? Well, they were gathered together back in the 13th century, in a book with a title that is, you guessed it, a paradox in itself.
This is it, the Mumonkan, which is often translated as the Gateless Gate or the Gateless Barrier. It's a collection of 48 of these wild, mind-bending koans, put together in 1228 by that master we mentioned, Wumen Hukai. And that mu koan, the one about the dog, that's case number 1, the very first one.
But here's what's so wild about Wumen's own story. Before he was a master who compiled this book, his own teacher gave him that exact same koan, mu. And Wumen struggled with it, really struggled, day and night for 6 solid years. It was only after he had his own massive, life-changing breakthrough with it that he was finally ready to use these tools to teach others.
And when that breakthrough finally came, listen to how he described it. It wasn't a quiet little thought. It was a thunderclap under the clear blue sky. A sudden, shocking event that changes everything and wakes everybody up. It's an experience, not just an idea.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty intense. But how does a person actually use a koan to get to a point like that? Well, it's a very specific, very demanding kind of practice.
So a master gives you a koan, say, mu. Your job is to focus on it with everything you have, especially when you're meditating. You don't just think about it, you try to become it. The aim is to build up that great doubt until it's this unbearable pressure. In fact, practitioners have described the feeling as having swallowed a red-hot iron ball that's stuck in your gut. You can't swallow it down, you can't cough it up. You're just stuck with it, and you have no choice but to face it head-on.
And you don't do this in a vacuum. You regularly have to go see your master for a private, formal interview called dokusan. And get this, you don't go in and explain what you think the koan means. You have to show your understanding. With a shout, a gesture, some kind of spontaneous action, the master isn't testing your intellect. They're testing your direct, gut-level experience.
And the whole goal of all this intense pressure and practice is what's called kensho, or satori, a moment of awakening. But it's not like learning a new fact. It's a complete flip, a fundamental shift in how you see reality itself. It's where all the lines you used to draw between me and the world just dissolve.
And that very breakthrough brings us right to the final, beautiful paradox of this whole thing, and it's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, right in the title of the book.
Let's just break down that title. The compiler's name, Wumen, literally means no gate. The second word, guan, means barrier or a checkpoint. So the title of the book is the No Gate Barrier. A barrier that has no gate. Wait, what? What could that possibly mean?
It means the obstacle we're trying to overcome isn't out there. There's no physical wall you have to climb to get to enlightenment. The barrier is inside us. It's the way our minds are built to constantly slice up reality into pairs. Yes and no, good and bad, me and you, has and has not. That is the barrier.
And that brings us all the way back home, right back to Mu. You see, it was never, ever an answer to a question about whether a dog has Buddha nature. That was just the bait.
Mu is the key to the Gateless Gate. Because it refuses to answer yes or no, it completely shatters the dualistic frame of the question itself. It makes you smash your head against the barrier of your own thinking until you finally realize there is no barrier, there is no gate. It's been wide open this entire time.
And that, I think, leaves us with a pretty powerful question to take away. If the biggest barrier is the one we build ourselves, with our own thoughts, then what gate, what wall that seems so solid and real, is your own mind building for you right now?